Hello everyone, welcome back. This time this is the next part of our Ansible tutorial. This time we'll be using Kubernetes along with Ansible. So I will go through the various files and also show you how to run the playbooks. So let's get started. Before we can begin, first we need this module. It's called Kubernetes Core Case. Now this is required for us to use Kubernetes with Ansible. Now this is already included in the latest Ansible core package, so if it's not, just check Ansible Galaxy Collection List. I already ran this command and I already have it, so there's nothing to worry. If you do need to install, just run Ansible Galaxy Collection install Kubernetes Core. Also, the requirements here, you'll need at least Python 3.6 or newer. I have Python 3.10, which is good. You also need the latest Kubernetes Python library, which I've already installed. You'll need PyYAML, which is already installed by default, and JSON patch. You can install these two here, these three, just in case you don't have it. Next, these are just some parameters. I will link the documentation. You can read it if on your own, but I will get to some examples. For example, to create a namespace, you would specify name, for example, testing, API version v1, and it would be called namespace, and the state is present. To delete a namespace, the state would be absent. And it even says here, if you wanted to remove a service. However, you can look at this on your own and also apply this to your own projects. So let me show you how we are going to enact our own Kubernetes platform. So let's go here, and we're going to Sublime. The first file we're going to use is to deploy a cluster, and here we call it deploy cluster.yaml. Our connection's local. We will deploy a cluster. The state will be present, and we're going to use Kubernetes led.yaml src. And this one is our Kubernetes manifest. You may have seen this from my LED Flask video series. So it's the exact same one. This is our deployment. We add our annotations for Prometheus as we did before. We're going to use the same image as we did before. And everything else is still the same, including our service monitor and our service. So nothing's changed here. However, when we are done, we can also use this, remove cluster.yaml. Here we have local hosts, connection local. You can change this to any of the remote hosts you're using. We're going to remove the service first. Our state will be absent. And remember to define the namespace. And then we'll do LED monitoring, and then we will remove the deployment. Then we'll have our deployment here, and then we will remove our service monitoring, or in this case, service monitor. So those are the only files we will need. So in the next segment, we will run these playbooks so you get an idea of how we can deploy a cluster with Ansible. So let's begin. Alright folks, so this is take 2. Apparently I forgot to add a namespace. Yes, Ansible is very strict on that, so we'll run that command again. And we'll check. And there we go. So we'll do kubectl get deploy. And here it is. This is the one that I'm currently looking at. These other ones are for a sample application I was running. So let's do kubectl get svc. And there it is. Now let's do kubectl get service monitor and monitoring. And there it is. So now we got things running. Now I'm not going to port forward anything, as I just wanted to test the Kubernetes manifest. And also we can check our pods. So we'll do kubectl get po, and there it is. So it's running. So now let's run the remove playbook. So we'll do Ansible Playbook remove, and then we'll remove cluster. And as you'll see, it's removing it. And there you go. So we'll run kubectl get deploy, and it's gone. Now if we run svc, it is also gone too. So that's how we would use Ansible to both deploy and then remove a Kubernetes manifest. And this does save on writing extensive commands. So there you go. We successfully deployed and removed a cluster. So that's it for this video. And of course, this is not the end, as in the final video, we will use Ansible to automate our Argo CD deployment. And then we will rebuild our dashboard. And that's it. So stay tuned for the conclusion of this Ansible series. Take care.